Hey everybody, it's Dustin over at Geekmatics, and today we are going to go over the purple and how you can diagnose some parts of the phone and a few other things, as well as how to install it and all that good stuff. So Akram Fahmy, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, showed Greg Wade, and Greg Wade and I started playing with it all day yesterday to the point where I was like, oh man, we've got to make a video on this because this is very cool. So I'm going to show you a few things and then you can kind of play with it. I'm going to show you how to play with it so you can discover more things by yourself. And let's go ahead and go from there. Alright, real quick before we actually dive into installing the software, I'm going to go over what you're going to need to do what we're doing today. The first thing is a normal lightning cable. The next thing is going to be a DC SD cable or an engineering cable. Then you'll need the purple software, also Magic CFG and CoolTerm. I will leave links to the software in the description. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is start installing the software, and we will lead off with purple. Alright, so after you click the link in the description for purple, you'll be landed here. And we're going to scroll down until we get to, and we'll click on products here. And we'll scroll down a little bit further until we get to this red text. You'll click on the red text to initiate the download. Now I already have it downloaded, so I'm not going to re-download it. And we'll just go to the install file, which is right here, or the DMG, and attach it. And just move it over to the applications folder, okay? Now if you're running Catalina, or if you're having issues installing Purple, I would recommend to go to the support page over here, because it will actually tell you how to fix it. So I experienced both of these issues where it says damaged, move to trash, and I followed these instructions and just copied and pasted this line of code into terminal, just like it says, and it worked great. And then again I had this problem and I did what it said. So just again, read these instructions. If you get error messages, go to the support page, because more than likely they will have answered your question here. Alright, now before we actually go to using Purple, I am going to go over the next software. We're going to download and install all of the software that we're going to need first, okay? So let's see, what is the next one? I think it was a Magic CFG. And again, I will leave the links in the description so you don't have to Google like I just did. And somewhere in here is a download button. Yes, global version right here. And again, it will lead you to the download. And again, I already have it downloaded, so we will do the same thing. This one I don't think was weird in any way, where I didn't have to run any type of commands. I think it was pretty self-explanatory. I think the most I had to do, and we'll open it up just to make sure. Yes, so it says it can't be opened, check for blah, 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 whatever. If you don't already know this, you can open up System Preferences, go to Security, and click on Open Anyway, under General here, Open Anyway, and it will allow you to open that file. Okay, so just drag that over into Applications, and you'll be good to go. And finally, we're going to need what's called CoolTerm. Okay, and this is how we're going to type commands into the iPhone. And I believe it's the first link here. Yes, it is. And you are going to select whatever version or whatever system you're on. And of course, I'm on Mac today. All right. So you just to do the same thing we did, click on the link, re-download it, perfect. And we will go through the same process. Now it's telling me, maybe it's because it's 32-bit. What? Why is it telling me? Why is there a Oh yes, that's because I downloaded the wrong thing. Alright, so ignore me. You're going to go over here and download over here. Good thing I checked myself. And once I open that one, it should, yes, it will let me open it. Alright, and I might have to do the same thing I just did with the Magic CFG, which is go to the System Preferences and allow me to open it. But again, I already did all that, so we'll close that, get rid of these. Alright guys, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our iPhone. In this case, I have the iPhone 10. and we're going to plug it in with our normal lightning adapter, not the engineering cable, and we're going to plug it into the computer. And we're going to go ahead and launch into DFU, okay? Alright, and now we're in DFU. As you see, my computer is telling me I need to restore the device before I can use it again, which it lies. We'll close that, and we're going to go ahead and open up Purple. Okay, and now you will see Purple registers the phone that's connected, the iPhone 10, and it's in DFU mode. So what we're going to do is go ahead and click the purple icon, the phone icon. Alright, and now that's done, and in any second now you should see the device itself jump into purple mode. Yep, there it goes right there. Perfect. So next step is go ahead and disconnect our normal lightning cable and connect our engineering cable. And we can go ahead and close Purple. Now the first software that I'm going to show you guys, Magic CFG, okay, what this software does is, for whatever reason, if you would need to read the serial number, Wi-Fi MAC address, and Bluetooth MAC address and change them, I'm not sure why you would ever have to do that. I've never heard of any such thing that would make that needed, but if you ever needed to do it, you would simply make sure the selected serial port is correct. In my case, it's going to be USB serial, okay, and you would click connect, and the next step would be to read syscfg, okay. So we'll go ahead and do that, and you'll see it populates all of this information for us. Hopefully you guys don't steal my phone's information. That'd be pretty uncool. But you can unbind Wi-Fi if, for whatever reason, if you would have to do that. You can kind of see all of the options, such as back up the file. Maybe this is the old information or the information you need to transfer, and so on. So we'll go ahead and close this out altogether. We no longer need that. Now the tool that I really wanted to show you guys is what's called CoolTerm. Now this is going to be the tool where we can actually manually enter commands to the iPhone and run some type of diagnostics and tweak things. So that's really going to be the cool thing. So how we set this up is we're going to go over here to Connection. We're going to go to Options. And you're going to change the settings like so. You're going to change the ports over to USB serial. You're going to change this option to this, I believe it was. And I believe that's it for that. And then you're going to switch over to Terminal, go to Line Mode, and select Format Tab, and then OK. Now I believe we're ready to go. We're going to click Connect. And how I check and confirm that we're connected is I just hit enter a few times, and if I get this line back, that means, hey, I'm good to go. If I don't get anything back, such as if I just disconnect here and I hit enter, you'll see that nothing is happening on the screen. It won't, hopefully you guys can see it, it won't actually do anything. So I'm going to connect again, and I'm going to tap enter. Yep, there it goes, you'll see. We're good to go. Now sometimes what I've discovered is that the phone will restart after a few minutes, and what I've discovered actually fixes that is if we go to let's say Bluetooth and then we turn it on. Normally, for some reason, that, for me anyway, stopped the phone from restarting. Now another thing, and I'm going to go through all these commands and how you get there in a second, but another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the brightness level all the way down on the device because it's not charging right now, and it's frustrating when you're really playing with it and then the phone dies. So I'm going to do BL-O, I believe it is, and that should turn off the display or turn the brightness level all the way down. Okay, so that will definitely help us conserve battery life. Now we can move this off to the side, and I will turn off the camera. You don't need to see that anymore. We'll just be looking at the screen. Make this a little bigger, and we'll go ahead and start playing with some of the things that we can do. Now the first thing that I would recommend you do is, if you've never been in this on the screen before, you don't exactly know what this is just type in help. Okay, because what will happen is it's going to give you a list of commands that you can run and things that you can do. Okay, and the list is quite large, as you can see. I'm not going to go over everything. I'm just going to go over a few things that I thought were really cool. Okay, now the first thing being the brightness level, as I just went over. Now you'll see BL backlight test. Now you also saw that I typed BL space dash dash O, and that, how did I know how to type that? Well, just like I told you to type the help, it's very similar. If you see BL and it's in quotes, that's the command you would have to type. Well, if you don't know, I can't talk today, but if you don't know the additional commands, it's not going to do anything. So what we would do is just type help, if I can type, space BL, and it will pull up the different things you can do with that command. Okay, so if you see command -N is test normal backlight, or test backlight normal, command O, test switch off backlight. Okay, we're going to ignore this as an iPhone 10 with an OLED that doesn't have a backlight, but you know, brightness level. Okay, so and then all of those different commands, and again, you can play with it as you go. Now, so let's jump back over to the help. Scroll kind of back up to the top here. And the next thing I want to look at, and that I thought was cool, was battery, and right here. Okay, so I believe we can maybe be able to just type in battery. Let's try it. No, it says returned invalid parameter error. Okay, so that means we have to type in something else. So again, we're going to do type help battery to figure out what we can type, or what commands are available, and it's going to be dash dash properties or dash P, and it'll show the same information. So what we're going to do is type in battery space dash P, and it will show us our battery overall health. Okay, the voltage, not overall health, I'm sorry, but the voltage it currently has, the temperature, the capacity, all that good information. Okay, that's pretty cool. So now one of the things that has already been kind of circulating, and the first thing that was showed to me was PMIC data, or the power rails coming from in and out of the PMIC. My girlfriend's impatient, as you can see. So what we're going to do is, again, we're going to type in help to figure out the correct command. And this one's going to be PMU-ADC command for calibration reading listing channels. So if we type in PMU-ADC, right, again, nothing happens. But here it actually tells you type help PMU-ADC for usage. Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to do, just like we did before. Help PMU-ADC. And we're going to see all of the commands that we're able to do with this one. All right. So we'll go ahead and see read, list all the available channel names. So let's go ahead and do that. PMU-ADC list. Now this is simply like it stated, a list of the things that it has the ability to read. All right. So you'll see all of the bucks here, the temp buck, the temperatures, all of that. So if we're going to go back up, we can do let's see, dash dash read option. So let's do that. So, and how would you type in that command? Simply as it says, but without this part here. So let's say I wanted to type PMU-ADC. What if I wanted to know what the voltage on VDD main was? Okay, so what I would type in is PMU-ADC. I would refer to my PMU-ADC test, or the ADC channels, and I would see VDD out. I would assume that that's VDD main. Okay, so that's the name that I want. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in read options, or I'm going to look up here and it's going to tell me what to do. So PMU, or tell me what to type anyway. So it's going to be PMU ADC space dash dash read space VDD outs. And it should give me the reading of VDD main, and it does. It's showing me that it's at 4.2 volts. And that's normal. That's what I would expect. And what's cool here is obviously VDD main is working because the device is in DFU mode, right? But that's with that certain line. There are several lines here that you can actually test without even opening the phone and seeing what the voltage is. So if, let's say, we wanted to see all, instead of a list of what they are, let's see if we wanted to just read all of them. We can do that too. We can do PMU ADC space dash dash read space all. and you will see it's the same list, but it actually gives you the reading on that line or the rating on that line. All right, so that is very cool. It's going to be a huge time saver because a lot of the times with these issues, you're actually able to get in DFU. So if you're able to get in DFU, you don't have to pull out your multimeter and actually check these lines. You can refer to the cool term in purple and get that same information and kind of save you time. So that's very, very cool. All right, so one of the tests here, one of the commands here that's closely related to the voltage check is the temperature check. So again, if you don't know the commands or don't know how to find the commands I'm going to, all you have to do is simply type help, and you will see the list of commands, and temperature is right here. So again, if you don't know how to exactly what all you can do with temperature, you just type in help temperature, and it will show you the list of commands, and I'm going to run the first one. So it says dump temperature info for all devices. That's exactly what I want. So temperature space dash dash all, and it will give me the readings, and it's very cool. Look, you have gas gauge, the PMU, and you can it'll say that right now the hottest it's been, the lowest it's been, and the average, which is it's fantastic. That is very, very cool, and it's I really find this stuff fascinating, so that's why I'm making the video. Now, one other thing that I wanted to, or the last thing that I wanted to bring to your attention and thought that was very cool is the sensor test, or the presence test anyway. So if we type in help sensor, it will show us a list of things that we can do and show you. So let's do list sensors. That's the first, or one of the second ones here. So we'll do sensor space list sensor. Oops, sensors, I believe it is. Oh, it still worked here. All right. So you see Excel, and this is essentially what an MRI test is. An MRI is an Apple Diagnostics test. It's a presence test to make sure that it's present, and that's kind of exactly what this is. It shows the sensor, and then it says installed yes. So it's reading that it's there. So that's like a quick diagnostics that you can do. And I lied. That's not going to be the last thing I show you. And again, you can go in here and you can type in list tests. So if we want to run, let's say, a test on this sensor here, we can actually do that. So if we type in, for instance, sensor, let's see the command. If you go up here, I think it is select, yes, or SEL, to select which sensor, and I want to select, make sure I'm typing everything in right. Nope, I am absolutely not. And then space, and where we're looking to run a test, or let's see, list test. So we'll do another space, dash dash list tests. And it will give you a list of the tests you can run, okay? So you'll see self-test here, self-test manual, self-test auto. So how would we run that test? Well, let's go back up to the help for the sensors, and let's find out. So I know we're going to have to select a sensor, so the first part of the command is going to be SEL, or dash dash SEL. The next part, let's find out. So kind of skimming here. All right, look, X test, or execute test is abbreviated there, and then test name. So, all right, so I'm going to copy and paste that so I don't spell it wrong. And so let's go ahead and type out our command. So again, we're going to start with sensor, and we're going to select the sensor, and then we're also going to do execute test space, and then we're going to name the test, and we're going to do self test. And you will see here it has passed the test, telling me that that sensor is okay. That's awesome, right? And you can do it. You can't do it for everything because, of course, Apple Mafia, but you can do it for a lot. So let's see the ALS sensor. This one is a little different. You can't actually run the test, but let's see what we can do. So let's do sensor, select, ALS, space, and list test. And it just says, okay, there's no actual test here that you can run on it, okay? But there are several tests that you can on some of the other sensors. So again, we're not even fully booted into the device, and we're in DFU mode, and we can test these things. So let's try prox, or the proximity sensor, and do the same thing. Why did I just copy that? I didn't want to. I want to copy this one. Alright, so sensor, select, what sensor did I just want to play with? Proximity, and list test. Let's see what we can do there. Nothing. Okay. Alright, so moving on. Can't do terribly much, but there are a lot of, well, you can't do terribly much. There are a lot of cool things you can do with this. So one more thing that I wanted to show you is memory test. Now, as a computer technician as well, I run memory test on every computer that I work on, and I can't on phones until now. So let's go ahead and launch memory test or test memory and see what we can do there. So we'll do help, test memory, and this will give you the list of options. Now, if we just, let's say, type in test memory, it will run a very, very quick test on the phone, one that's not very good. So, but if you look here, I'm not sure, how did I find, oh yes, right here, show test. So if you click on, so if you, if you type in test memory, space, show tests, it will give you a list of different tests that you have the ability to run on here. Okay, I mean, and the list is endless, it feels like. So, and some of these I played with quite a few of them. Some of them can take an hour, some shorter, some longer. So it's definitely something that you might want to be able to play with and test. And it's going to be great for when your phone is failing at a certain point, and it could be memory or NAND or RAM or NAND, and you're not exactly sure which one. I haven't tested it yet to see if it'll actually fail this test, but that would be incredible if it would just tell us without actually having to remove the NAND and update to see if it gets further and whatnot. So that's pretty nifty as well. Alright guys, so that's all I'm going to show you for today. As you can see, that help list is quite extensive. So I'm sure you guys are going to find some really cool things in there, things you can tweak and mess with. I would recommend, if you've never done it before, do it on a phone you don't care about or a donor phone, just so you don't destroy anything. I don't see how you can really destroy anything, but I was being very careful. I'm sure there are settings in there that you can change, and then probably the phone won't turn on. So if you're playing around, use a donor phone, but other than that, it looks like a lot of fun. So I hope you guys learned something.